You know, my life before was depressing. So I was playing video games 6-7 hours a day, even though I went to school as well. I was drinking so much, I was taking substances, I was doing all this shit because I had nothing to look forward to at all. My dad loaned me 100,000 crowns, Danish crowns, which is around $15,000 to buy a course.
Wow.
I had a really successful business. I was making a lot of money. I didn't have any cost at all. I was just me making 15 grand per month. And then everything just fell off a cliff because I... My name is August.
This is the white flag. Okay. I'll pay that one. Good. That's really good. Oh. That's proper golf. If you were thinking about the 15-year-old August, looking into the future and seeing what you've achieved so far.
15-year-old?
The 15-year-old August, what would he look at in your current life and be shocked about you have achieved?
When you were 15 years old, you didn't even think about entrepreneurship. So when I was 15, I was drinking, partying, spending time with friends, and I remember I had this feeling that I wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. I was like super self-conscious about my life, and I didn't believe that there was anything more to life. So when I was 15, I like everything that I'm doing right now would be a fucking shock. The fact that we're living in different locations, not living in Denmark, making a lot of money, having a like solid, stable girlfriend even is crazy. Having a dog as well is something I always dreamt of. But the contrast to the life 10 years later is crazy.
So, like, who would you say is August? Who's August? Who are you?
I'm super introverted, very creative. I'm very fast at making decisions. I'm very fast at executing. My weakest point is focus. I love having a tight group of friends. I don't spend a lot of time with people I don't know. I hate the government. I hate everything it stands for. I hate paying taxes. I hate being controlled. And anyone trying to control me, I will just neglect them and ignore them and do everything that I can to do the opposite, like a small boy. That's who I am.
Were you always like this? And what were you like growing up before you were in this stage of life?
So I've always been like this. I've always been introverted. I've always loved spending time in my own company. I've always thought that there was something special out there for me, but also didn't know that it was possible. Like also understanding how simple everything is. Like, business is so simple. It's delivering a product and doing marketing for it, and that's basically it. I guess it's understanding the simplicity, and then what's really possible is kind of the biggest difference between me now and me back then.
Jordan, do you want to hold the camera? Because it's a bit awkward talking to him while doing this.
I think it's awkward to talk to me.
Yeah, you're a bit awkward. Before this new phase of your life, before the new August, what was life like? How did things look for you?
You know, my life before was depressing. When you're going to high school and you know you're doing the same thing every day, you're not putting any effort into school. I was playing video games and I was partying, I was drinking a lot every weekend, waking up with hangovers, partying Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I had nothing to look forward to at all. And I think entrepreneurship was my kind of escape, kind of finding a new path that was maybe possible to build a better life for myself.
And like that backstory, what year was this? What age did this?
2017, 18 and 19, I think.
You were 17, 18, 19 when this part of life happened.
I moved from my parents like when I was just turning 19, and then I was like hosting parties every single week, and that was really bad for me because that made me able to do whatever the fuck I wanted to.
And when you were doing this, like, did you have a job or did you already start entrepreneurship while you were doing this stuff? Because you were living on your own.
Yeah, I had a job. I was working with my dad. My dad is a farmer, so I was working at his place. I've been working since I was 4 or 5 years old. I was just working at his place, taking care of the pigs that we had and making a few bucks, but not anything substantial. Probably $500 a month, something like that.
So from a kid, you were a farmer. You went from being a farmer, then you went through school, you went through this period of drinking, partying, like this messy period. How did your daily routine look like in that messy period?
I was getting up whenever I wanted to. I was going to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. I was watching YouTube. I was taking a lot of nicotine and snooze. So much snooze that I couldn't sleep because nicotine basically awakens your brain, which is ridiculous, and you take so much of it that you can't sleep. I was eating junk food every day. I was eating pizzas and probably ate 1,000 calories a day. I was so skinny, more skinny than I am now. And I was doing nothing. I was spending all my time playing video games. So Call of Duty was a big hobby for me, but I was not even good at it. And I didn't even like playing with anyone.
And that was because you just wanted to self-isolate?
Yeah, I wanted to isolate myself from everyone. And I guess it's an insecurity that I had, that I didn't want to be weird or awkward or anything like that when I played with other people. And I don't know how to socialize in big groups. Like, I'm really, really good at one-on-one conversations and having relationships like on a deep level with a few people, but being in a room and being center of attention is something I hate. I hate it.
17, 18, 19, going through this messy period. I have a picture in my mind of what's happening then. Like, you're going through a lot of experiences, but then there's this switch where you go from that to moving to Marbella, having a business, being an entrepreneur and getting this rigid routine. Was it from one day to another, or was it a slow burn getting over to that new August?
For me, it was one day to another, because after I bought that course in social media marketing, and I listened to what this guy was doing, he was doing better than me, so I listened to everything that he told me. It didn't matter if he told me to get up at 3 a.m. in the morning and meditate for 2 hours. I did everything. I was doing cold showers, I was meditating, I was reading a book for 1 hour, I was self-developing, I was doing all this shit because I just had so much pain. Like, there was nothing that would be worse than where I was currently at. So I would do anything that I could.
So you didn't know that it was possible until someone showed you, and that person was probably a mentor for you, a digital mentor.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're basically in your room, you buy this ad, you change, boom, you're new August. Like, what you are doing now, is that what your parents or your family or friends around it always expected you to be doing when you grew up?
No, not at all. My mom I think she's proud because I stopped drinking 5 years ago. I think she thought that I would not become anything and I would become useless to society. And I thought the same of me. I had super low confidence. I had no ability to think that I would be able to accomplish anything.
Yeah.
I think my mom is so relieved that I'm not doing any substances at all. I've been able to find my own way in life. I think that's one less child to concern about. It's been pretty scary to live right here. This one. Imagine like getting a ball through the window sometime.
Okay, yeah.
So what are we saying now? Let's talk about yourself now.
You're the star of the show.
You look like a Swedish Jeff Bezos right now.
Do I?
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
You spoke about taking the course, having the mentor. What actually made you take the leap and say, this is what I want to do, I want to start this business? Was it immediately when you saw the ad for the course, or did you have to like consume the course a little bit?
No, it was immediate. I was willing to believe anything. Because when you're in so much pain, you're willing to do whatever it took, and you're willing to believe whatever anyone said and try something new. Whenever you see any other path compared to the one that you believe, that you kind of see another vision for your life.
But a lot of people see the path, they see like this could be so much better, but they don't believe it, they're skeptical. Why do you think some people like you see that and say, yeah, I want to go for it? But other people see it and they're like, I'd rather stick with my safe job.
I think it's because they are not uncomfortable enough. There's this guy, Chris Williams, and I heard a podcast with him where he said that it's almost a blessing to be in too much pain because then you're making a change. But if you're just a little bit in pain and you're decently comfortable and you have a decent job, but it's not really good enough, then you're maybe not willing to do the change and sacrifice that you need to do.
Do you think everyone is made to be an entrepreneur? Like anyone can do it?
No way.
Why?
Because it's like people just don't have what it takes. They need to execute, they need to do the long hours, they need to be aware that they're not going to make any money the first 2 years. They need to be aware that their identity is going to change completely and what they're doing and who they are, and they have to reshape everything about themselves.
What did you have to sacrifice to get to where you are? What did you have to leave behind, and was it worth it?
Yeah, I had to sacrifice friends, family, I had to sacrifice alcohol, I had to sacrifice gaming. I remember I just bought a PlayStation 5 and I sold it 1 week later because I bought that course. I had to sell every single distraction that I had in my home in order for me to be able to focus on it. Like you know, the only difference between me and someone else is maybe the pain that I'm going through versus them and how willing that I am to change it. Are you willing to put in the hours that it takes, which is 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, and 7 times a week, and
months
without seeing any results. You're not seeing anything, but you just have that vision inside of your head that maybe it's possible.
You always need to be a little bit crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think so.
So what kind of business do you run?
We do an agency. It's just a boring agency that is selling leads to insurance companies, law firms, and real estate companies. And then we are plugging in SEO and AEO services on, which is just doing AI optimization on Google and on ChatGPT as well.
Are you comfortable sharing how much you're making with the company?
We've averaged around 100K. The best month that we did was 123K, but around 100K in the past.
So 100K per month?
Yeah.
And you went from making $500 to 100K per month?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It's insane to think about. And you know, making the $500 was way harder in terms of physical labor and the amount of hours you have to put in than where you are right now.
Because so don't trade time for money?
Not at all. You want to be able to find people that are way smarter than you are, and I've luckily found a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's not that hard for me.
So it's all about leverage.
Yeah, it's leverage. It's hiring the right people that are smarter than you are, have done the things that you wanted to accomplish, and then just hire them and pay them well.
So you've got to 120K per month. You must be good at sales. What's the secret to sales?
I guess it's being able to walk away. It's having enough credibility, and our thing is just having so many people who are vouching for us that we don't really need to sell them. So building a funnel where you naturally sell them throughout the entire process before you even talk to them is super key. In our case, whenever I speak with someone, I always put them in the waiting room in the Zoom, because Zoom have a function where you can show a video before the call. So we have like 20 of our clients who are talking about how fucking smart and good we are at our service before they even talk to us, and they're smiling and they're happy and they are way more respectful and they trust us way more on the call whenever they're seeing that information.
So someone is in the Zoom waiting room before you let them in. They're watching a video of all this social proof.
Talk about
August
how great we are.
And then they come and talk to August.
Yeah.
No one is doing that.
No one is doing that.
Very, very few people are doing that.
Yeah. But everything, like especially in online marketing, you need to provide so much trust before you even talk to them. You have to, otherwise you're not going to have a closing rate of 5%.
Yeah. What is the mistake that everyone is making in your industry?
A mistake that everyone is making is trying to make their product perfect instead of getting the offer nailed down first.
What's the difference between the offer and the product?
Well, the offer is the transformation that you are accomplishing with the product.
So you're selling the outcome, you're selling the dream.
Yeah, always selling the dream. It's always selling what can they get out of the service, and you always have to deliver 10 times as much value as you're charging.
So while everyone is trying to perfect their product, you're perfecting the offer and you're getting clients faster.
Yeah, you get clients faster, and you also have to choose the right industries, because it's way easier for me to justify that I'm going to sell you one more house if I'm working in real estate compared to selling a gym membership.
So it's all about the niche that you choose?
It's a niche and industries as well, because you can justify the numbers that you're charging way easier.
I've heard from Warren Buffett that it matters more what boat you were in and how hard you row. Do you believe in that, and how true is that?
100%, yeah. Everything with AI right now is so interesting. Hence why we are adding all these new services to our agency, just because not only is it super trending on Google Trends right now, which means a lot of people are searching for it and are genuinely looking for it. So we get way more organic customers. We don't have to spend as much money on marketing. So the boat that you're rowing in is so important. Everything with AI right now is just booming. And can you just mention AI in your marketing and you can implement it in your product and service, then you can close way more customers.
So you walked us through a lot of your backstory and how you grew up, and a lot of wild stuff in there, but what is the wildest thing you've ever done that you never told anyone?
The wildest move I did was when I bought my first course, it was $15,450, and I didn't have $15,450, so I asked my dad for a loan of $15,000
Oh, wow.
to get the course.
And what did he say about that when you came and asked?
I was like, I have this course, I know it's gonna help me a lot, it's gonna grow me, but I don't have the money for it. And then he was like, yeah, I'll loan the money and then you pay me back. This was like in 2021, I think, 2022.
Before you even moved to Marbella?
No, I bought the course down here right when I moved down here.
So when you moved to Marbella, is it safe to assume that you have literally no money?
Yeah, I didn't have any money.
So just starting out, and you moved to a new country?
I was not starting out, I had been an entrepreneur for like one year. And then I moved to Marbella, but I didn't have any money because I spent it all on this stupid apartment over there.
So how did you deal with it? Did you know that business was coming, or were you just betting?
I had a remote call center job at the same time. So I was sitting and literally calling Danish leads up in an apartment up there every single day. Then I was trying to get clients at the same time. And I remember I had one time when I quit my job and my friend recorded me. I was sitting out in the sun, and then I called my boss and told him that I quit. And that was when I got a huge client that never turned out to be a client, where he has 15 clients that wants my services and stuff. And that was enough for me to quit my job. But I never ended up getting the actual deal. So I just had to grind my ass off in order for me to get clients to be able to pay the rent.
You moved to Marbella, but previously you mentioned that there was a period of time where you almost lost everything. So tell me about the time where you almost lost everything and what it costed you.
Yeah, well, that was back in 2023. I had a really successful business. I was making a lot of money. I didn't have any cost at all. I was just me making 15 grand per month. And then everything just fell off a cliff because I decided to go in a different direction. And that different direction cost me my focus on my current business, losing all my clients without any more client acquisition. It just pivots, goes to zero then. So I lost everything, and I broke up with my girlfriend. Like literally cut everyone off again because I had to start from zero. I had a business that didn't deliver a good service, and we received, I think, probably 10 disputes in 3 weeks. And there was 10 disputes that was the money that we needed to fund the advertising and fund the employees that we had. And then also Stripe paused all our payments. And for around 8 months, They had blocked around $30,000 in payments that we needed in order for us to pay our employees, and we couldn't fund the business anymore because we didn't have any money to fund it.
What did you learn personally from that, about yourself, being that close to the edge?
The biggest thing you learn is just being more grateful. For me, it's just always resetting myself to what really matters, which is routines, getting up early in the morning, being grateful, praying to God, and just doing those 3-4 hour deep work sessions in the morning. And if you just do that, then you're going to become successful again.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
My best piece of advice I've ever received is to focus on selling the product before you have the product. So you're not wasting 6 months on building something that no one wants.
Do you think there's any world where that piece of advice doesn't work?
Yeah, if you're building a super advanced SaaS maybe, or if you're building a product where you don't have the chance to speak with anyone before, like you need to be able to sell it. So you need to, how I always do is I always do the marketing, I do the advertising and everything before, and then I book the appointments, and then I see what people really want on the sales calls. If you build a product, if you build a SaaS, or if you build anything, you want to build an MVP within a week, maximum 1 week. You don't want to keep on fiddling around the small details and no one gives a shit about, and you believe it's super important, because they're not important. The most important thing is the overall outcome of what they're going to achieve, and then you build everything. Whenever you're selling someone on something that you have not built yet, then you're very motivated to build it.
So if we did this same podcast 10 years from now, what would be different about your life?
I don't know. I don't think anything is different. I think I asked myself the same question when we lived here in Magna Bay and we didn't have any money. And we are asking ourselves how good our life is from 1 to 10, and our life was 9. Maybe a little bit more money could be nice, so we weren't stressing about that, and now that's happening.
So more money doesn't necessarily make you happier?
I don't think so, but it also depends. I can't speak from someone who's making way more than me, and there's a million people who's making way more than me. I think it's just having a good routine, because really what it comes down to is how is your day structured. Do you like the majority of the days of your life? Do you like the weekdays? Do you like the Mondays? Do you like the Tuesdays? Do you like the Sundays? And if majority of that is good, then I think you should be at a place where you're happy. So routines are super key. Having discipline and going through hard shit, still going to the gym and taking care of yourself. If you just do all that, then yeah, I think you're going to be happy.
Well, thank you today. What? August, thank you very much. This was great. Where can people find you?
Just Instagram, I guess, and Instagram leads to everything else. So August Tange at Instagram, that's it.
Good stuff.
All right, thank you guys.